Welcome back, dear viewers. You're still watching Nile Cruise on RTV, and in this segment, we're joined by Mr. Ibrahim Tahawi, who is a British Council certified trainer. And dear viewers, in this context, the Ministry of Tourism is collaborating with the Ministry of Education, which are launching a tourism ethics program aimed at educating students on the importance of tourism as well as the ins and outs of the country's prominent heritage sites. The Ministry of Education seeks to include knowledge and awareness materials within the educational curriculum of the basic education stage with the aim of clarifying how to deal with the tourists and welcoming them as guests in our country and instilling the values of a culture of acceptance and respect for the others. Dear viewers, we have to welcome with us Sir. How are you? And hope you're fine today. Ministry of Education seeks to include knowledge and awareness materials within the educational curriculum of the basic education level. What is the significance of this move, sir?
First of all, I'd like to appreciate this protocol which occurred and happened between the Ministry of Tourism and the Ministry of Education in 2019 exactly, when Dr. Tariq Shawqi was the Minister of Education. At the time, the aim of that protocol and the project between the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Tourism, how to encourage the students to see what's happening in all around Egypt. It's very, very important to teach the students and to give them the enthusiasm to know their country. It's very, very important. By the way,
enthusiasm to know the country?
yeah, okay, because by the way, some students up till now don't know what's happening in Egypt, what about the interesting places in Egypt. So when they talk with tourists, okay, even if they visit the pyramids, for example, or Hurghada, or Aswan, or Sharm el-Sheikh, whatever the place, they don't know how to talk about their country as it should be. So for my surprise, most of the tourists know the Egypt and its touristic places more than some Egyptian students. So this protocol happened to give the enthusiasm for the students to know about their country, to talk about their country, how to deal with the tourists when they come to visit their country, Egypt.
Okay, sir. How far will this move affect the behavior of the coming generations towards tourists?
Yeah, it's very, very important because the coming generation, when I hope the Ministry of Education will apply something like a curricula in dealing with tourism. Okay, this curricula will give the push to the students to study all or most, not all, the touristic places. Okay, I hope up till now this didn't happen. Okay, and we hope that the Minister of Education, Dr. Rida Hagazi, I think I sent my message from Nile Cross to Dr. Rida Hagazi, the Minister of Education. It's due time to apply something like that, to manufacture or to make or establish something like a small book, a small curricula related to tourism in Egypt. And by this way, we are going to encourage students to know about their touristic places. And at the same time, when they visit any touristic place, I think by this way, they are going to deal with the tourists and to talk with them about their country as it should be. This is what we want.
Organizing trips for school students to various tourist governorates will be part of the new knowledge and awareness materials.
Yeah.
Would you tell us more about the trips you organized and how was it used as a tool to improve the English language for students?
Yeah, I can't forget, for example, when we visited Alex, okay, and we made a summer camp. This in summer camp, we had many foreigners at that seminar, at that forum, and we invested that time to make some kind of forum or discussion between these foreigners about with different nationalities and the Egyptian students. By the way, we, according to my role in that time, I began to support the students to talk with them about their country, Egypt, and I found that, for my surprise, that some students can't talk about their country as it should be. So I noticed also that some foreigners, by the way, knew much information about Egypt, about the touristic places. So from that time, I think I put in my mind that we have to do something. We have to take or make an initiative for developing the students and to give or fill their minds with some information, much information about Egypt, about the touristic places. We can say that how come you are Egyptian, student, you are Egyptian citizen, and you don't know anything and everything about your country. So we have to do something like that. From that meeting or summer camp, I also discovered that some students have the ability to express themselves, to talk about their country, and we gathered these students and we made models from these students to return back to their schools to make something like parliaments, small parliament in their schools. In this parliament, they began to discuss what happened in summer camp with the foreigners, with their students at school. By this way, I think we have to talk about the ambassador or the initiative of Know Your Country and all these initiatives which occurred in the era of Dr. Tariq Shawqi as the Minister of Education, and I hope to complete this by making a small book relating to tourism with the cooperation of education.
Sir, lately students are kind of looking scholarship opportunities to study abroad. How students can benefit from these opportunities and how can they get the scholarship to start with?
Yeah, in fact, we have many models, and I don't want to mention some certain names because I have many different names who traveled actually to Germany, to Switzerland, to Ireland, to England, to America from different schools, and in the same time, up till now, we are making cooperation with them to be ambassadors for their country, and at the same time, they are now on social media. They sending what? Up till now, I'm still following them. They are sending, in fact, positive message for Egypt as an Egyptian who are representing your country. In fact, they succeeded abroad and they fulfilled or achieved great progress abroad by this scholarship. In the same time, we here make or I advise all those who are famous on social media to try hard to send how to our students who are still haven't traveled or something like that, or didn't know or don't know how to take a scholarship, to send them positive energy and positive messages. What about their experience and experiment when or before they traveled abroad and after they traveled abroad? In fact, by this way, we are going to make a cooperation, and at the same time, we are going to invest these students by their knowledge, how they achieved the great success abroad. And when here I'm talking HR or human resources, what happened, or human development or psychology, what some students, when they changed the atmosphere of education, in fact, they have achieved great progress.
Amazing, sir. So the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities has various awareness programs and activities such as Tourism Ambassador Program and Know Your Country Program. How do you view these activities and how far will these programs raise children to be able to promote their country's destination?
Yeah, one of the most important initiatives, Know Your Country. In fact, from this important program, I still see that it was very important, but we need more and more. Why? Because some students, when they visit the pyramids, for example, it's not enough to visit the pyramids, but I see, as in the education field experts, I see that we have to ask these students to make a report, to make a brief summary about their visit, and when they return back to their schools, to write a brief summary about what they watched, how could they deal with tourists and foreigners. At the same time, they have to know from now, they are still, especially in primary stage and primary stage, secondary stage, or education before university, we have to teach them how to deal with tourists. We have to change the culture. We have also, at the same time, to give them some criteria, some principles, to teach them how to deal with tourists when they visit Egypt. It's very, very important, because by this way, we are going to make them confident of themselves. And by the way, they are going to be great models, okay, if they represented Egypt locally or worldwide.
Okay, sir, what, in your point of view, are the various methods of cooperation between the two ministries to work on enhancing and exchanging experiences to contribute in increasing tourism and archaeological knowledge and awareness among school students?
Yeah, in fact, here we are now in this important place, which is a museum for children.
Child museum.
Yeah, child museum is very, very important and attractive place. I was talking with Dr. Osama, the general manager, about how to make a protocol between the Ministry of Education, and in fact, I'd like to appreciate his great efforts
Yes,
Dr.
he's an
Osama.
amazing man, I understand.
Yeah, Dr. Osama Abdulwaris, because I was surprised.
Abdul
Abdulwaris, yes, okay, excuse me, because he asked to meet you. He required to meet me, and in fact, we talked with each other how to make a protocol between the Ministry of Education and National Institute, especially, and here this place, this interesting place, which I invite all the students to come here because I suffer from a problem in the Ministry of Education. Most of the students want only a place to play, okay, to practice any game. This is the culture of our students, okay, especially before university. But it's due time to change this culture. They have to, okay, it's your right to play, to gamify, okay, or practice any kind of game. But at the same time, I think it's our duty as educators to give them or to change their culture, to visit some interesting place like that, to know about the culture, the true culture of Egypt. Very, very important.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Mr. Ibrahim Tahawi, thank you very much for joining us in today's episode of Nile
it's a
Cruise.
pleasure. I'm
Thank you
really
very much for
grateful. I'm
being
really
with us.
grateful.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much for your
Really
informative
grateful.
knowledge.
Thank you.
Dear viewers, stay tuned. We'll be right back.